back to our channel. This is Natalie Ann,
Mom.
with Natalie and Mom's Kitchen, and we are here with you today to show you how to make Parmesan squares. This is a recipe from my grandmother and my mom's mom. That's probably, what, 40 years old-ish?
Probably
maybe
around that, yeah.
something like that. I myself have never had these, so I think this is the first time that I'm making something that I myself haven't had.
And
I
that's
think,
because
maybe.
I'd rather her do it. but I will interject here that this is probably something that most people won't want to do because you slice fresh onions. In this case, we use sweet or Vidalia ones. I've seen a recipe, only one other recipe that's similar to that, that shows onion powder and garlic powder, and I think it was salt and pepper. But I like the idea. This is the only way I've ever known them. And I like the idea of crunching into a piece of onion. But if somebody doesn't like onions, okay, skip that. But that's why this is probably a little bit, onions are the only pain in the rear. Everything else is normal.
Well, because you have
It's
to do them
simple.
thin, and then also to make sure that they fit the bread squares and everything as well as possible. But I love onions. I mean, I've never really, other than maybe on a hamburger with a piece or two of raw onions, I don't know that I've had little squares like this with a slab of onions. But
It's a thin, but it is
it's but it's a slab of. It's not a ring of. It's a slab of onion. But it does go into the broiler. So it should, I don't know that it's going to actually be in there long enough to caramelize the onions, but it should cook them to a little bit, you know.
Uh-huh.
But the way that, what my grandmother suggested were to cut Pepperidge Farm white thin sliced bread into 4 squares, but we couldn't find the Pepperidge Farm.
They had the Pepperidge Farm in a honey wheat, but not in a white.
Okay,
And I just didn't want to deviate too far.
Yeah, so we just got regular, now this isn't Wonder Brand bread, it's our Publix brand, which is our grocery store, but it's essentially like Wonder Bread.
Yeah.
Kinda
And so
sorta
it's
thing.
not as thin as
Right.
it, so I think the whole point was for it to be crunchy and crispy, so this may not be as crunchy, but it's going to be, it'll do the trick.
Yeah, we'll see what it is. Yeah. But what goes into it is if you can find the Pepperidge Farm white thin sliced bread, you would cut it into 4s. We used the equivalent of Wonder Bread, cut them into 4s, and then you would mix a cup of now this yields for about 24 pieces, but we're only doing 12 right now, so we actually just weren't really paying attention. So depending on how many you need, this would be good for 24. Well, actually, we're going to see because we haven't made this in a long time. So we're not going to say that.
Put it away and make the other.
Right.
More like
so,
bread.
But you use 1 cup of mayonnaise and then 1 cup of grated Parmesan cheese, and you mix the two, which I'm going to go ahead and do now. And then we have extra Parmesan cheese in this little cup. You all know, well, anybody that follows my other channel know that I love pots that are unique, and we have regular dishes that we get in the white also that are a little unique. But anyway, so we're gonna go ahead and mix the 1 cup of mayo.
This was another example of putting down something that was a medium jar in the 60s or late 60s. I lied. Probably early to mid 70s, a medium jar of Hellmann's mayonnaise. Well, what does that mean?
Right.
A large shaker of Parmesan cheese. So things have changed since then. So we're kind of winging it now to match and see
what we're guessing the measure, what that would have translated into nowadays.
Yeah.
So that's why we just kind of came up with the 1 cup of mayo, and we're using oh man.
Yeah, no, it's the only thing about grated.
We're not using Hellmann's mayo. This is actually
Blue Plate.
Blue
Trying
Plate.
it out because my friend Tamara said that this was the mayonnaise, and so we're trying it out. We typically use Hellmann's though.
Yeah. So I'm doing my best to mix it up really well.
And I think you could be generous with it. Not super generous because you're going to put it on twice, but, you know, not just super thin.
And we don't typically use the Parmesan cheese that comes in the, you know, the shaker, the, what is it, Kraft? Yeah. We'll normally grate it ourselves. But in this case, since there was going to be quite a bit of it, we just figured, you know what, for sake of ease, and it was on sale also. So, I mean, it just, you know, we kind of take everything into consideration. But, all right. So, again, my hands are clean.
Oh, God, we are so clean with our hands. It's pathetic.
It's actually pretty...
I'm telling you, when Baba made them the first time.
See, I'm not like the big, like, I'm going to eat, like, I'll lick off a spoon of mayo. That's not my thing. My mom doesn't mind it. I mean, you know, not a tablespoon. I'm saying, like, licking that leftover of, like, what was just on there. I'm not the type that would just go ahead and eat that of mayo, but this combination of mayo and the Parmesan cheese is actually pretty good. And, of course, I have a little bit of a mess right there that I was going to hide, but what the heck. I'm probably going to move this anyway, but oh yeah, this is going to definitely be, oh, but I see, it is rather thick, so you just go ahead and, I don't know if I should put more.
I think not. I think that's going to be plenty, because don't forget there's going to be another.
So I'm going to do like 1 or 2 more on camera. You know what, I'm going to pick it up. And then I'll come back once I'm done spreading this on.
Favorite number.
Yeah. I'm an odd number person. She's an even number person. So it's always, if we do for each other, I'll do even for her and she does odd for me. But yes, that's odd. I know. No. But all right. So we'll be back in just a minute after I go ahead and spread the rest of them so that I don't waste all of your time spreading. You guys know how to spread, right? I'm guessing. I showed you how to do 3. I think you can pick it up from there. All right, be right back. Okay, so we're back. So I have the spread on all 12 pieces of bread. You can see there's still quite a bit left in the bowl. But now I'm going to go ahead and put the onions on to the bread. My mom tried to keep these all nice, and I probably should be doing it, flipping them around so they fit better, but not that one because it's already, you know what, but I'm going to turn this around maybe this way and see if that works.
Yeah, some of them were a little bit smaller pieces, and of course the bread is, let me get this out of your way.
It's not in my way.
No, I know, but the spoon, catapulting.
This is a thicker piece, so I'm going to put that there. Now I need to flip it.
Flip it again?
No, hold on. Some of these I can go ahead and pick up with my fingers.
Yeah.
Oops. Alright, so
if it's too long, you can snip them or cut them off, or take that one off, that one. Yeah. There you go.
Sorry guys. It's just sticking onto the spread, so it just doesn't just easily move, which is...
Baba was a very patient person.
Yep. All right, so...
But she was more into the how it comes out. It's worth it. Type.
Okay, so we've got that. So now I'm going to go ahead and put the spread on top of it on a couple, and then we'll come back once I have it on all of them. So am I putting the same amount, or am I just... Oh.
Maybe just dollop it more. And don't bother spreading it because it'll melt, I'm guessing.
Yeah, but we don't know if it
We
will
don't
or
know.
won't.
I think that's good. That's good. It's not a, yeah. Is Miley outside?
She's not outside, but
Oh, okay.
that was her.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so
Needless to say, this is highly caloric. It's just something you might want to pop in the oven like in the old days, they used to have cheese balls, cheese puffs, and little hors d'oeuvres like this. This is that era of hors d'oeuvre.
yeah. All right, so since I went ahead and did on that, I'll be right back once I get the rest of it all finished, and
Sprinkle.
we'll be back in a second. Okay, so welcome back. So now we've got the spread on top of all the onions. It's not like a thin layer. It is a dollop that's spread out a little, but it's still more dollopy than like a thin layer, if that makes sense. And I think that with what we have left in here, that it would probably yield 18. Maybe it could possibly stretch to 24 because we did a little bit extra on here. You might be able to get 24 pieces of bread out of here, but 18 for sure.
Yeah.
For sure, without even worrying about it. So I mean, this is what, 1, 2. This is only 3 pieces of bread out of a loaf of,
right,
essentially Wonder Bread. So if you could find well, I don't know how many pieces are in the Pepperidge Farm white thin ones.
Probably,
because if they're the same size, because you're cutting them into 4s. I don't know, but anyway, it doesn't matter.
I think they're smaller. Pepperidge Farm loaves are smaller than
Got it.
typical
Okay,
Wonder
so
Bread things.
now what you do is you just sprinkle some more Parmesan cheese on top. I have to tell you, this spread is actually really good. I wouldn't necessarily know that it was a ton of mayo. Essentially, it's just mayo with Parmesan cheese, but you taste the flavoring of the Parmesan cheese more than you do the mayo. But
and if anybody,
well, this is getting onto the taza too, right?
Oh, that's okay. I wouldn't.
Okay, the taza is the See, I don't even know the English word for it. That's the thing. Well, I'll be like, Mom, can you go get the thing in the shaflada? And it's like that's a dresser, I mean, a drawer.
Yeah.
But I can't think of the word drawer, but I can think of shaflada. But
I think
mean,
this is called a roasting pan?
Yeah, maybe a roasting pan. I don't know, but it's getting onto the taza everywhere. So
that's okay. That's why I didn't do it on aluminum foil, because trying to get it off of an aluminum foil would be the pits. This way you can just soak it and wash it. But I started to say, I've seen recipes in the past with mayo, like Parmesan crusted, where you would do panko or breadcrumbs, and Parmesan cheese in it. But I've also seen where mayonnaise is used to coat chicken. I don't know if it adds to keeping it moist or what, but I'm guessing this particular mixture, which I haven't even thought about doing in 30 some odd years or however long it's been.
Okay, I think I may have put a little bit more.
That would be an interesting combination to maybe put on a chicken. I'll have to check into that.
Okay, I think I kind of put a lot of Parmesan cheese on here. Just in case you care to know, my mom is a queen mouse. My ex-husband was the king mouse, and I was the princess mouse, because I do love cheese, but there's not a cheese that they've met that they don't like. Me, I have a little bit more of a
discriminating palate.
Yes, a discriminating palate when it comes to cheese, but putting extra Parmesan cheese on here is not a problem. But anyway, so then what you do, so we've got the bread, then we've got the layer of the mayo and Parmesan spread, then we've got a slab of onions, and then we've got a dollop of spread on top of it, spread out a little bit over the onion. Then you sprinkle the top with Parmesan cheese, and now we're going to throw it into the broiler until it's lightly browned. So we will be back once it's out of the toaster oven, and then obviously we'll let it cool a little bit and then come back and taste it and let you know what we think.
It's been a while. I remember loving it then, and my sister Tatarama loved it then. I'm not sure about everybody else in the house, but I know we loved it. And Baba loved it.
Yeah,
Obviously.
I
But
was-
she,
like
but
I
she
said-
would go to her bridge parties or wherever, where the women got together on and stuff, and they would bring things, and then maybe
See, this at least has other stuff besides just onions. My paternal grandmother would, I think she would do it on a slice of bread, but she would just take a slab of onion on a piece of bread, or she'd cut up garlic,
yeah.
cloves of garlic
The
onto a piece
Ukrainians
of bread
love
and
garlic. Yeah.
just ate it like that, raw. And I know a lot of people like onion sandwiches, stuff like that, but I love onions and I love garlic. I'm not necessarily a raw onion or raw garlic person, but this is going to be broiled, so we'll see. I mean, I like raw onions on a hamburger, but even still, I would prefer getting grilled onions if I was going to do it.
Yeah.
Grilled onions and mushrooms and, the whole 9 yards. Anyway, okay, let's get on with this. So yeah, we'll be back. We're going to put this into the toaster oven and broil it until it's brown, and then lightly browned, and then we'll be back. So we'll see you in a little bit. Bye. Okay, so welcome back, everyone. So here they are out of the broiler. We used our toaster oven. It's a Revel toaster oven, I think. So if anybody else has, I only mentioned the name in case anybody else has it. But we put it on broil on the top rack as per usual, which it automatically sets at 500 degrees. Now the toaster oven, honestly, neither one of us can remember if even the oven does a preheat with the broiler, but the toaster oven did not have a preheat. It just started right then. So we started it at 2 minutes just to see. It wasn't enough, so we added another 2 minutes, and then it still wasn't quite enough. Or I think why at that point?
Turned it.
No, that was the last 30 seconds. We did another minute. I can't remember why, but we did it another minute just to give it a little bit more of that extra, golden look. But then when we pulled it out, well, actually, my mom did all the cooking of it. When she pulled it out, she noticed that one side was darker than the other. Well, we probably should have turned it around halfway through, which we always forget to do. So we threw it in for another 30 seconds, and then this side kind of got, a little bit more brown. So all in all, it was 5.5 minutes, but just watch your whatever cooking
vessel
that you use, whether sorry, I just bit my lip. Toaster oven or oven, just make sure you check it. It does not take a lot especially if you're just doing a small thing like this. I don't know if you had more, it may take an extra minute or so. I don't know, but just make sure you check it. 4 minutes you should be totally fine with, but still, my mom was standing there watching it the whole time, or after that.
And upped it for a minute before it got to the 0 point.
Right. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and try it. She went ahead and put out 2 little plates and napkins for this maiden voyage for me for sure, and for her
forgotten vacation for me.
I'm gonna grab one that isn't. This is the thicker onion. I don't know if that. I'm grabbing one that looks like it's a little bit thinner onion. Now the bread does feel, I'm not going to say soggy, but it is soft on the bottom.
On
I don't
the
know if you
bottom,
want to
it is.
see.
That's why I think I think they're cut thinner slices than the regular
Got it.
bread.
So,
Okay,
Salute.
Salute.
I really can't see us eating it, sorry, but now, anybody that knows Parmesan cheese knows it's a saltier cheese. But, this is actually really, really good. The onions, even though it was only 5.5 minutes, they did not caramelize, but it took the rawness away. They're not totally raw. So,
Plus, I forgot, did we mention that this is a sweet onion or a Vidalian?
Oh, we didn't.
Okay. I figured that would make it just a fun onion, but not overpowering onion.
Right.
I like it.
Okay, only because it's a cooking channel is it okay that we're eating on camera? Although you're not seeing us, but speaking with our mouths with food in them. But
So we can give you a review.
okay, I've never had these. I have to say they're delicious. I mean, like, delicious.
I like them.
Is
remember
this
now.
what it reminds you of?
Yep, I remember now. What did you say?
Is this what it reminds you of?
Yeah, no, this is it. I remember loving them.
Okay, so definitely on a scale of 1 to 10, I give it a 10.
Me too.
So again, let us know, as we always ask you, let us know if you've ever, sorry, I just realized the washing machine is on. We didn't close the utility room door. Sorry about that. That was my fault. Earlier she was my mom was really good at keeping the door closed. Anyway, let us know if you've ever heard of these. We have seen them online, again, with different.
I only saw one.
Oh no, wait, that's
when I
this
Googled.
one, right? It was the other recipe that we were
Yeah.
looking at. So have you had these? Have you heard of these?
And is it worth it to? I think it's worth it to slice the onion, go to the effort of slicing it, as opposed to putting onion powder. And I think garlic powder, salt, and pepper was the one that I saw mixed with mayo. I only saw one other one when
Got it. So I think it would be definitely worth it to do with slicing the onion on here. It's delicious. And the combo of the Parmesan and the mayo, I think, is delicious. Definitely a 10 on a scale of 1 to 10 for me. So let us know if you haven't heard of these, if you are going to try them. And if you do try them, let us know what you think. If you did use the dried or minced or whatever onions, the powder onions, and or garlic, if you did that versus slicing the onions, or if you added anything else or totally changed something, I don't know, whatever. But let us know. If you tried it this way, what did you think? And let us know if you made any changes. We'd love to hear it. Anything else?
No, that's it. I'm just so excited. I love it because it's been so long and we had to take what was written loosely and kind of...
Right.
So now we have more of the mixture left, the Parmesan mayo mixture.
And plenty of
if
bread.
If you have bread,
so.
you got onions, just throw in another batch.
Yeah.
You know, if you've got even more people coming or whatever.
So again, this is totally delicious, and definitely looking forward to having some more. And yeah, and if you're new, if you're still here, we'd appreciate if you'd hit the subscribe button down below, as well as the notification bell next to that. Make sure to hit it to all so that you're notified when we upload videos, especially since YouTube is no longer sending out email notifications. This is the bell is the only way of actually being notified. And if you'd be willing to give the video a thumbs up, that would be awesome. And sharing it, we would appreciate that as well. So have a great day and rest of your week, and we will see you next week.
Bye, everybody. I hope you enjoy.
Bye. Love, hugs, and prayers to everybody. See you soon. Bye.